That's right, you read it correctly. Yes, our body can survive even with a metal rod over 5 feet long going through our head. Just don't try this at home, okay? This is the story of Phineas Gage, a 25-year-old young man. It was September 13th, 1848, around 4:30 in the afternoon. Phineas Gage, 25 years old, was working on a railway in Cavendish, Vermont, near the Canadian border. He had a simple task: clear the path for the trucks. But simple never meant safe. With a metal rod and some gunpowder, he prepared the rock. Everything seemed normal, until the moment everything changed. A slip, a glass to the side, an unexpected spark. And then an explosion. But not just any explosion, one that would change his life forever. The impossible happened. The metal rod, over a meter long, went straight through his head, like a bullet. 20 meters behind him, the rod landed, and he, unbelievably, was still breathing. How was this possible? A miracle? How could someone survive something so brutal? His co-workers ran to help. They took him to Dr. John Harlow. The scene was horrifying. Blood, open wounds, pieces of bone and brain exposed. And yet, Phineas was conscious. He looked at Harlow and said he hoped he wasn't too badly hurt. The doctor couldn't believe it. How could this man still speak? How could the brain let him survive without going into shock? Days of recovery, seizures, delirium, fungus growing in the wounds, a terrible smell. Every treatment seemed to open the door to another problem. His friends had already prepared the coffin. But somehow, he started to improve. And still, questions hung in the air. What had changed? What could he feel? How could something so extreme still allow life? His body was healing, but his mind, not completely. Phineas, once calm and polite, began acting unpredictably. The gentleman turned irritable, angry. The responsible worker became impulsive, hard to handle. The railway company, not understanding, ended up firing him. He traveled, worked on farms, stables, even became a circus attraction. But every step, every attempt at life showed that something inside him had changed deeply. His brain, injured in such a precise way, now controlled behavior, emotions, and choices. And still, no one could answer everything. Which parts of the brain decide who we are? How can an organ rebuild life after such total destruction? Years later, Phineas' skull was carefully studied. Scientists realized the rod hit the frontal lobe, the part responsible for planning, decision-making, impulse control, and shaping personality. The prefrontal cortex, the region that lets us think before acting, reflect on our emotions, and control reactions, was also heavily damaged. And yet, his body reacted in an extraordinary way. The human brain, even facing almost total trauma, began reorganizing neural connections, rerouting pathways to keep essential functions alive. It adapted. What seemed impossible became a demonstration of brain plasticity, the ability to adapt, partially repair, and somehow work around physical and chemical damage. Phineas survived. He walked, talked, remembered people, and started interacting with the world again. But the experience left deep marks. Emotional instability, impulsiveness, mood swings. A sign that the mind and body are resilient, but never the same after extreme trauma. The impact of his case goes beyond a single accident. It helped create whole fields of modern science, neuropsychology, studies of decision-making, personality, and behavior. Doctors learned to see how specific brain regions directly influence our actions and emotions. Phineas Gage's case showed that every decision, every impulse, every trait is rooted in brain biology. Even after 12 years, his life ended prematurely. But his legacy lives on. He left us a silent, powerful lesson. The brain is incredibly resilient, but fragile. It keeps us alive, shapes us, transforms us, and teaches us about ourselves. And now, the questions that echo. What else can the human brain endure? How far can the mind adapt and survive? What limits are still unknown? Phineas Gage reminds us of something profound. The human body can defy the impossible, and science has only begun to understand the power of the mind behind it. Impressive, right? Tell me in the comments, what do you think about this bizarre tragedy that changed and pushed science forward? We want to see your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe to help me create more content like this. I'll see you in the next video.